But we'll go down to our final game of the weekend, Sunday-ish night football, Sunday night-ish, 6:30. The Cowboys going out to San Francisco, to Santa Clara, where the 49ers are 3.5-point favorites, total is 45.5. These teams actually played in the playoffs last season, and the 49ers won 23-17. Deebo Samuel Deebo'd them to death. Dallas, they lead the postseason series 5-3 in 8 matchups. 49ers have the highest winning streak in the entire NFL right now at 11 games. Oh, boys. This one's hard. I was a lot more confident before we started recording, but for whatever reason, I'm starting to talk myself out of it. But I'll tell you what I have, and we can talk about it. I had the 49ers minus 3.5 in their money line. Both of these teams really make their living on being opportunistic and very disciplined defenses. Best turnover differentials in football this year. San Francisco's plus 13, Dallas is plus 10. They also both have Defensive Player of the Year candidates in Nick Bosa and Micah Parsons. And that makes it the biggest matchup of the game. Both talented offensive lines versus elite defensive fronts. The winner of those matchups is going to win this game. We'll talk more about Micah Parsons and Nick Bosa here in a minute, but my pick is going to be San Francisco minus 3.5 in the money line. Do you guys agree with me? Do you disagree? Because I think I can be talked off of my poach here.
San Francisco, I agree. San Francisco as the favorite and the money line. So Dallas is the 12th worst graded team in the NFL against the run. And San Francisco should win this game handedly by doing what Shanahan does best, which is run the football. This game piques my interest a lot because if Dak shows up, the Cowboys are probably the only other team probably the only team other than Philly and the entire NFC that I would bet to knock out the Niners. But their biggest weakness on defense is San Francisco's biggest strength. And I like Dallas a lot, but this was a terrible matchup for them. I almost wish they got Philly because it would have been a way better game. I can't see Dallas keeping it within, 3 points or less. I think San Francisco is going to run away with it.
The black sheep pick. Give me that Dallas plus 3.5. You know I'm coming in strong. Yeah, San Fran's the best team in the NFC. It's lining up that they're going to steamroll everything, right? It just Cowboys have that fresh playoff loss to them last year. I know. I think that Wally already touched on it. They lost to him 23-17 here last year in Jerry World. Mike McCarthy's history of going up against the San Francisco 49ers. So there's a lot of animosity from top to bottom in that coaching staff and just in that locker room right there. Now, obviously, San Fran has the defensive edge here. I like their offense a little bit more, and we all know they have a way better kicking game. But teams that are on a 11-game winning streak are 1-11 in that 12th game. Though
Wait,
the Cowboys.
What? Wait, say that again.
This is something I saw online. Teams that are on an 11-game winning streak are 1-11 in those games.
Like going into a playoff game when they've won 11 straight?
No, just that 12th game during an 11-game winning streak. That 12th game, 1-11. I believe it was ATS.
Shit.
Even though the Cowboys have been on the road for the last 4 weeks, we'll circle back to Mike McCarthy, a guy who knows how to orchestrate a team to go play on the road when it really matters. Give me Dallas plus 3.5. I think give me San Fran's money line mixed with that, so you get a little bit of best of both worlds there. Best world is San Fran wins by 3, and you get the double dip there a little bit. But that's where I stand on this game. Come on, David.
Ooh, that's an interesting stat. But what would be more interesting is what's the record in the 13th game when their 12-game winning streak? Is that like a totally defeated stat? Because if so, I'm putting my entire life savings on the Eagles.
Well, I mean,
I'd want to dig a little bit more into it.
Well, I was going to say, because Steven said it, they'll lose this week. So you don't have to worry about it, David. We'll revisit in a week. But that is putting the cart in front of the horses, as the smart people say out there.
Hear me out. If Dallas wins, I think it's a more exciting, even though on paper, San Fran versus Philly is like amazing. To me, Dallas versus Philly, like the biggest division rival in the conference championship, would be a fucking amazing game. But I'm still not wavering from San Francisco winning this game.
San Francisco Philly is like the football wine connoisseur, like what's it called, where they're swishing the wine around, be like, oh yeah, this is a trench fight, like, oh yeah, this is an outstanding trench football game. And then everybody else is the natty light. Let's get the Cowboys, Eagles fighting one another division game. No, I'm going to be the snooty, give me San Francisco's offensive line versus that front seven. That's what I want. And the thing that I think is going to help my dream happen is that Trent Williams is PFF's best graded left tackle 2 straight years, 2 consecutive years. And Micah Parsons lines up 60% of the time. This is according to Daniel Jeremiah of NFL.com. He lines up over the left tackle 60% of the time and 40% over the right tackle. It's going to be at least flipped this week because they're not going to want to throw him over Trent. Take him out of the game. The Dallas defense isn't nearly as scary as you would think. Whereas Nick Bosa, on the other hand, 18.5 sacks. He has 48.5 quarterback hits this year. Both lead the NFL. That's an insane stat to me. 48.5 times you've hit a quarterback in a calendar year. Insane. But going up against Tyron Smith, who's just recently returned from his, I think, pectoral bicep. He had died, basically, and now he's alive. Congratulations. But he's playing right tackle. And then on the left side, Jason Peters, who we don't even know is going to be healthy. He exited last week with an injury, which brought Tyler Smith in, who's graded well, but he's jumped all over around on the offensive line. That makes me think Nick Bosa has the advantage over Micah Parsons in a team that already had an advantage playing at home, had an advantage with all the momentum. I'm going with the 49ers every day of the week. Should be an awesome game, though. Can we agree Sunday's slate a lot juicier than Saturday?